Hey, Coach, how much of that fourth quarter was a mixture of getting guys experience and also, getting some rest for those starters?
Well, we didn't have a whole lot of that many bodies, so guys were chipped maybe 10 minutes off what they regularly play. And we obviously it's an opportunity for the guys on the bench, and they got to the foul line in the fourth, and Bruno just got fouled. So I felt like we competed, and obviously you always point to things you can do better, but it's good to see some of those guys happen. I think they work. A lot of those guys are, whether it's Kobe or Dylan, Veet, that whole Trent, those guys, they put time in. So for them to have an opportunity to play was good.
Coach, what did you see from Trae's first night out, and specifically how he was playing with that brace on that left hand?
Seemed comfortable to me. There was one play in front of our bench where he went after a loose ball with his left hand, picked up a steal. He finished left-handed, with a little, scoop shot. So, there's a process. It'll come quick for him. But like I said, you anticipate, kind of getting reacclimated. But the biggest thing for me was his conditioning, and it seemed like he was. You have to ask him, but it didn't look like he was dragging.
Did you go into tonight thinking you were going to take it easy with guys like Bogey and Clint after double overtime last night and all of the sort of wear and tear of the season?
That's not really how I would put it. We've had guys during some situations that we've really extended from a minute standpoint, and it's one thing to have a back-to-back. It's another thing to have like a back-to-back-to-back. And that's almost what that was, against Miami, because, the double overtime. So I think you're conscious of that right now. But you're always, playing to win, of course, right? I don't want anybody, because they're really fatigued, to have something like that carry over.
Garrison, now officially, I guess, the leading three-point percentage in rankings. Just, you talk about a guy who works. Just how does it, for you, look to see a guy kind of get paid off for all of the work that he's done?
It's great, and I think one of the things, he's such a competitor, and, the way he's been able to channel that and really maintain his focus, I think that's huge. You miss a couple shots, and obviously, he wants to make every shot, and he's making a lot of them, as you said. But I think his ability to get to the next play is really important, where he doesn't, and obviously, he knows how we feel about him shooting the ball. And he's another guy that, he's getting his shots, he's working, he's very regimented with his routine. But I think it's, he's doing other things that get him on the. It's not enough just to make shots. He's competing and fighting. You see him, in the right place defensively and taking challenges and getting charges. And one of the things that he does is he moves so well without the ball. Whether it's handoffs and you're starting to see him do a couple other things. There's been a few times that it doesn't. You haven't seen him do some of those things. And it's not like, he knows who he is. But I think he's using his shot to be able to make plays for other people, which is really good. It's not easy.
Bogey also made some waves tonight. He passed Trae and Mookie for the three-point franchise record. Can you just talk about the work he's put in from, this summer till now to just come in and be able to shoot the ball the way he has?
When I was in Russia with CSKA Moscow, we played in Belgrade. And I think Bogey, I don't know if he was like 16 or 17, but the crowd there, for anybody that's, seen a game in Belgrade, a partisan game, and I came out, early just to kind of feel the environment, and he was out there shooting, and he was the only guy out there shooting. And so there's I think I've told him that. He may not remember. He'll remember. But it's pretty cool to have that. I remember when he was drafted, Phoenix to Sacramento, and he's someone I've always, watched. And obviously Igor you know, having coached the Serbian national team, you know, growing up, being Serbian, you know, has a particular tie with him as well. So he's not just put time in, you know, this summer and over the course of the year. He's one of those guys. It's, you know, it's a lifetime of work, and he's a pro. And so I didn't know that. I'm not surprised.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Mo Gueye. We see his increase in minutes, but we also see his confidence. He knocks down that three, gets that block shot. Just what have you seen from his confidence playing out there on the court?
Compared to last game, his first NBA game. That's one of the things that, you know, Mo's a guy that's, you know, again, he's battled through a couple injuries. He's used that opportunity, you know, to work on, you know, his strength. He was in the D League. He had the opportunity there and started to find a comfort level. But getting in an NBA game is different, you know. And I'm not sure he meant to bank the one the other night, but he looked more comfortable. To your point, and that you know, that takes time. You know, anybody that's, I don't care who you are, when you're in, you know, you get put in an NBA game and you're excited and probably a little nervous, and it was good to see him. The big thing is he didn't hesitate. And, you know, I think that was true the other night as well. So, you know, he's another guy that, you know, it takes time. You know, it's rarely do you see rookies come in and, you know, tear this league up. You know, it just takes time. You know, I think, you know, I want to temper my enthusiasm, but there's certainly some things that he did that are unique. You know, I think with his length, you know, being in a position to impact shots. There's one closeout, you know, and he's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to play the right way. He's trying to guard. And if you throw yourself into those things, you know, some of those nerves just kind of settle in, you know, because you're thinking about, you know, things that get out of your head a little bit.
You were playing Trae in like shifts of 6 to 8 minutes or so. You said you didn't see any sign of him dragging, but was 21 minutes through 3 quarters pretty much a cap for how much you wanted him to go?
You know what? That was a kind of a wheelhouse number that you know, our health performance group talked about and talked about with him tonight. He basically played a very similar rotation to what he usually plays. You know, it was a little bit like we view some guys in preseason situations where they'll start the third and then, you know, pull him out. He usually comes out. I mean, there's times, obviously, where he'll run out a quarter and those things, but that's generally, you know, his rotation. And I thought that was important rather than to, you know, save him to finish the game or something like that, that I wanted him to kind of normalize coming back.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.